I do have a question. Can you hear
Yes.
me? Yeah. I have to use a mic. I'm on a computer. Uh, um, I'm starting to understand better staying centered and throughout the day also, because when I'm centered in my body, my mind also get more still. But like today, I feel glad or happy, and then I get a lot of energy inside. And then I'm like, I have a lot of upwards energy while I meditate, and it's even harder to meditate actually. Actually, it's easier for me to meditate when I'm depressed, because then I'm heavier. And so I'm wondering, with the mind, I notice if I force it, I can get still. And then I feel stuff happening. I feel like light coming in. I feel like I'm like climbing something and getting more present. And I'm wondering, is that forcing part like is it sounds like it's wrong, but how do I silence my mind? If it makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Look, uh, the mind needs to be trained. Understand, the mind habitually is used to making a lot of noise in our heads, tension, conflict, and noise. It creates a lot of problems for us. And it's like a wild animal. And, 1 minute it's thinking this, the next that, it's thinking the opposite. And it creates an enormous amount of tension inside people. And the big part of this meditation is learning to train the mind, learning to train the mind to stay focused, not as a thinking instrument, but the energy of mind to stay focused in the chakra below the navel. That is, I would say, right there, 60 to 70% of the training. And in doing that, you're up against the one person, that you have to learn to overcome, and that's yourself. Because we are so used to living in our heads. I mean, I used to do a little exercise when I lived in New York City. I would go down on the street corner of Broadway and 73rd Street, where I used to live, and I just watched people. 98% of the people that walked past me were all in their heads, thinking, 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 worried about the past, planning the future, completely oblivious to the present, walking in a daze because the energy of mind is so strong that it keeps them from ever being focused inside. And so we need, through the practice we're doing, to train the mind. It's like a Pavlovian dog. We have to train it to stay focused in the chakra below the navel. Because once it stays focused there, the whole inner being of a human being changes. We are grounded. We are rooted. We have foundation inside ourselves. We have the capacity and the strength, having that kind of grounding to keep the heart open. And that is the ultimate goal of all this, learning how to keep the heart open. So basically, what you're talking about, Skanda, is a lack of training so far. It takes time to master this. And we are so habituated to being mental, being emotional, and then you put sexual energy in there. And as I always kid around, it's like the local insane asylum. We are habituated to live that way because that's the only way we've known how to live. What we're doing in this meditation class is working against ourselves, learning how to discover we are the problem, but we have to master that inner chaos in order to resolve the problem. Now, this is not an easy thing to do. It takes time, takes patience. It takes mastery of the chaos, takes training. Just learning to keep your attention focused below the navel takes training. We have to work at it over time to adjust our inner life to living that way. It's not used to it. It's used to being in the head all the time. And there's no discipline. There's no, you understand? And yes, people have certain intelligence. They have certain capacity to be rational about life.
Mhm.
But that intelligence and that rationality about life doesn't enable them to get the heart open. You can think about love. You can analyze love. You can talk about it. You can understand it in your brain. But that doesn't mean that you're organically capable of living with your heart open. That becomes experience, experiential, living with your heart open. That requires grounding inside, foundation inside. It requires an enormous amount of strength in the core of your being, in the chakra right below the navel. When all of this is mastered, suddenly there's quiet inside. Suddenly we're not walking around being emotional messes. Suddenly every little stupid thing that happens in the world doesn't drive us crazy. We don't get upset because the objective world is like a lunatic asylum. We are grounded. There's harmony, there's balance, foundation. And then we can look out at the world. And as I was explaining to this guy who was interviewing me today about my book, we look out at an objective world that is just nothing more or less than a reflection of our inner life. We see in the world exactly what we are inside ourselves. It's a mirror image, it's an illusion. You understand? Because it's just a reflection of what we are. But it's also an amazing teacher. Life itself is the most remarkable teacher. And when we start getting grounded, we start building that foundation. When we get the heart open, the mind is a little bit quiet. We begin to see all of the incredible mysteries that life is teaching us about what we have to learn to fix ourselves. Now, I mean, look, this is not a 2 week process here. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. It takes time, it takes work, and it takes really, I would say, which I didn't mention to this guy today, more than anything else, it takes truly a need in a human being, an overriding need in a human being to have a spiritual life, to be connected to higher energy in the universe. So when you put all of these ingredients together, you begin to build a system that enables you to live the way I'm talking organically. You are a living expression of love, of quiet, of a quiet mind. You just live that way because your system inside now obeys you. You have trained it to listen to you, and the mind will stay focused, the heart will stay open. The sexual energy works, to activate Kundalini. It really is an energy of rebirth, sexual energy. And all of that works together because one has trained themselves. It's like even something like hatha yoga. I mean, when I was younger, I used to teach hatha yoga. When I first started doing it, my God, I couldn't sit with my legs crossed. But after time, a couple of years of doing it, it began to change. And I was able to get into these positions I never could dream of getting into, these asanas. But it was my system readjusting itself, learning how to live that way. I mean, I think I'm going to have to go back to it because I haven't done it in a long time. I kind of liked, that kind of quiet and ease and physical, I would say serenity in myself. So what I'm saying is it takes training. I mean, when you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a doctor, for instance, you don't start your education in medical school. You got to learn that one and one makes two. You have to start basically and then building up to one day you're in medical school, but you have that whole foundation to draw upon that enables you to do that. That's what meditation is about, building that inner foundation. And ultimately, one becomes a child of God. You begin to draw energy from the cosmos. You're no longer blocking that flow of energy inside yourself. The joy is organic. The quiet mind is organic. And you live with it all the time. It's part of your being in the now, in the present. I mean, this is very important to understand because everybody is in such a rush. Why is my mind doing, why this, why that? It will do it until one day you master it, and then it will stop doing it. And then you begin to receive real knowledge. Understand knowledge that comes from the source of all creativity. You are no longer keeping it from entering you. And that wisdom, that knowledge begins to flow through your system, brings your consciousness to a whole other level of the way you see the world. And all the confusion goes away. This, that, it all goes away. And have patience. I mean, Rudy said it better than anyone. It takes 9 months to have a baby. It takes 1 second to die. 1 second, boom. But you want a baby? It takes 9 months. You can't have a baby in 3 months. You've got to have patience. We are giving birth to ourselves. That's what this class is about. And one needs to have patience and do the work and gradually build that kind of inner life that's strong enough to live with a quiet mind, an open heart, balance, foundation, a connection with spirit, wisdom and knowledge, and all these remarkable things that take place in a human being because they have mastered themselves.
Thank you.
Great question, Skanda. I didn't expect this kind of answer, but I'm listening myself, frankly.
Nice. Actually, I have uh, what I notice is that there's a sacrifice on the way there. As I'm getting more centered, I'm used to being. I've seen how I get into my emotions, and I start my entire body just falls into the abyss, and I have to pull myself back and be like, "Be here, Skender," and be like, it's an active process also throughout my day that I have to.
Yes,
But
that's
I notice also that there's a lot of energy also in the emotions and thoughts and feelings, and I'm like, it feels like a sacrifice for me to let to like I am Mr. Still and I will be this at all times, sort of, because I don't know, I feel like there's a sacrifice of my personality. That's what I've been coming up lately, like,
well,
you know,
you gotta transform all of that energy into an open heart. I
okay.
mean, it's like this title of the book I wrote, Transforming Life's Tension into Joy and Love. All of that stuff you describe is life's tension. Transform it into joy and love. And then we open to it in a completely different, we can experience the same things, but we look at them and see them differently. Understand the heart is open. There's more love, there's more compassion. We don't have to figure it out, we live it. And that's an incredible thing, not to have to figure out things, but to be a living example,
Hmm.
to make them organic to your daily life. And then you experience, you experience the same things, but you look at them completely differently. And there's no longer all that chaos, that scattered energy, that chaos, and I
I
mean,
don't.
it's like painting a painting. I mean, you got to bring all of the energy into this thing that manifests in front of you, becomes a work of art.
Mm, I understand.
I think you're a musician, right? I mean, you play the drums or something.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's like when you're playing the drums, all of that has to go into the music and it becomes has harmony, it has balance, it has rhythm, it has everything that's necessary in order to make a band work,
Mm.
has mathematics, it has everything.
Yeah.
But you got to channel all that, you understand, all that
Mhm,
energy
mhm.
into
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to be really there, centered, and it just comes from somewhere. What you're gonna play, what's gonna happen. It's
comes from,
really
and you'll never figure out where it comes from.
beautiful.
You just got to open to receive it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it drives a bit mad also, the creative energy. I'm sorry. Creative energy is also very strong when it comes in. It pulls you and makes you kind of chaotic also. But I understand that that has to be grounded and it will come after a time. But
But you have to be disciplined, Skender, in order for that energy to,
go
you
all
have
the way down.
to work. If you're
Yeah,
not disciplined inside and focused, and it doesn't work.
yeah,
It just becomes scattered energy.
yeah. I'm not disciplined. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Questions are great. I mean, I'm telling you, people ask good questions. I learn a lot, and I'm here to learn. So I like good questions. Okay, if there are no more, I just have on Monday, I'm doing another one of these podcasts, and this one is supposedly on a very professional level. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's called the Global Book Network. And they actually approached me about doing this. And so it's going to be on Monday. The whole conversation is supposed to be about my book, this book that I just published. And when they broadcast it, they post it. I will, have Jennifer send it out to everybody so you can listen to it. Does anyone else have a question they would like? It's a whole new level of my life. I mean, God, being interviewed all over the place. I never thought anything like this. It's very interesting. And I have to be very centered to do this because as soon as you get off centered, they want to catch you, get you. So you got to be really balanced inside to do these things. It's making me grow. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, thank you. God bless you. As I told you all week, there'll be no class on Sunday. I'm having a retreat this weekend here. The next class here will be on Tuesday. So you all have a wonderful weekend and God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon.
God bless you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart. Welcome.